Hey, everybody. This is a Super Bowl broadcast of the 1976 SSFRL Retro League. It's a game between the Baltimore Colts and the Los Angeles Rams. Tuning in late. Traffic was terrible today. I don't want to interrupt their flow, especially on a crucial fourth down play. 4th and 5, the Rams are going to go for it on the Colts 30. They don't have a very good field goal kicker. They got Lawrence McCutcheon and John Capoletti in the backfield. The linebackers of the Colts are not the best, 4-0-5, and they have a 0. It's a line, buck to McCutcheon, +3, fumble. Baltimore's recovered the ball, so they stopped the play and they forced a fumble. It would have been a first down on 7 or 8. Possibly on some of the other numbers as well, but they didn't get it. They decided to run for it instead of throwing for it, which is what you typically do on third downs, especially with containment in effect. But here we go. So I think it looks like I missed the first drive. Burt Jones, if he wouldn't have gotten hurt, could have been one of the all-time great quarterbacks, is the quarterback of the Colts. At least that's what people tell me. It's, there's some YouTube clips of him too. Flat pass right to Glenn Dowdy. Empty zone. Bill Simpson, the free safety, is double teaming Roger Carr. Steve Tamburino is the coach of the Baltimore Colts, and Zeb Strong is the coach of the Los Angeles Rams. This is obviously before their move to St. Louis, but after their move from Cleveland. There was a sack chance there. Merlin Olsen, this is the fearsome foursome here. Well, kind of a few pieces of the fearsome foursome. They got Fred Dreyer, Larry Brooks, Merlin Olsen, and Jack Youngblood. I guess it was the new fearsome foursome. The fearsome foursome of the 60s were all gone except for Merlin Olsen, maybe. Off tackle left to Lionel Mitchell being keyed. Loses a yard. 2nd down and 11. So they got the first down on that one. Let's take a quick look at the ball possession to make sure that I'm right. Yeah, so it looks like the Rams got the ball first. They drove 9 plays, 37 yards. They had a penalty that helped them all along a bit, a 5-yard penalty. And the drive resulted in that 4th down fumble that we saw. So we didn't really miss much. Check the broadcast, make sure we're good. Looks like it. Short pass to Roger Carr. Single cover by a 6. It's a dump off for 10 yards. That'll bring up 3rd and 1. As Raymond Chester, the tight end for the Colts, finds an open spot in the zone for Burt Jones, and he hits him. They go to a 2 tight end, 2 running back set. Jimmy Kennedy is the other tight end. Look at all those run ratings. 6s and 5s against 6s and 5s. A good defensive line, a good offensive line. Looking past Lionel Mitchell, guessed wrong, picks up 11, but there was a penalty, false start or offsides. And I was watching a 1979 game because you don't really see offsides on the offense these days. But sure enough, it was the Seattle Seahawks against the San Francisco 49ers, week 6 in 1979. And there was 2 or 3 offsides on the offense plays where they tight end lined up over the ball or lined up too far in front or started a little early. They even call offsides on that when they started early, went across the line. 3-5 now for the Rams. Pro set for the Colts. Short pass to Raymond Chester being double covered. And here comes the sack. Here comes those fearsome foursome. Fred Dreyer. What was his name of that TV show he did? Was it Hunter? He was on the prowl there. He found his target and he brought him down. David Taylor could not help but succumb to the prowess of Fred Dreyer. 37-yard punt, 4th and 13. Cullen Bryant is the returner, and he takes it back 7 yards, so the Rams will take over again. 1st and 10 on their own 36, 9:18 to go in the first quarter. James Harris is their quarterback. Let's see what his replay statistics were. Oh, this is only the playoff replay. Let's actually take a moment and grab that file off the website. Looking past the Bob Klein, incomplete. Guessed right. 1 man league file for 1976. We can restore that. That'll give us some statistics from the regular season. Second and 10. Off tackle right to McCutcheon. Guessed wrong. Fumble +4. The Rams have picked up their own fumble. Will they advance it? No, they don't. That'll bring up 3rd and 6. So the Rams went 11-3 in the regular season. They've split time almost evenly between James Harris and Pat Hayden. Zeb must like the way Harris looks in this matchup based on the weaknesses of the Colts defense. Off tackle draw, +14 on a short gain. Remember, it's 0-rated middle linebacker. That's something that Steve's going to have to address. He can't just leave them there by himself, but then you look at his free safety. Guess what, folks? He's also a 0. So even if you would go 4-2-5 or 3-3-5, you don't have a 4-rated extra DB. So you're going to see a lot of running on 3rd down because Zeb will break containment 2 out of 3 times. Plus that Rams offensive line is pretty stout. Linebacker to John Cappelletti, linebacker in zone +1 or +6. See, there's the problem. Even with a man in the zone, he's rated a 0. Jim Chayunsky could not make the stop. And he wouldn't have made the stop no matter what. He's a 0. You're almost better off not bringing him in there because the other reading would have been defensive left tackle. And at least you have a shot there with Mike Barnes and his 4 run rating. 2nd and 4, the Rams are now at the Colts 40-yard line. Line buck to Cappelletti, guessed wrong, +4, 1st down. So you're going to have to make some run calls because the Rams are such a strong rushing team. 1st and 10 down to the 36 of the Colts. So Lawrence McCutcheon ran for 1,400 yards. John Cappelletti pitched in 500. Jim Bertelsen ran for 200. All of them solid runners. Off tackle right to McCutcheon. And there's a strength of the Colts defense. With 0 men in zone, there's a couple numbers there that will provide relief as Zeb tries to pound it away. And with 1 man in zone there, you even lose some yards. 2nd and 9, ball down to the Baltimore 35, end run right to McCutcheon. Picks up 8. So you got to bring some pressure there. You got to plug those zones. 3rd and 1. And this is going to be tough for the Colts to stop unless they get a correct key. Lawrence McCutcheon is joined by, who is this? Rod Phillips, backup fullback. It's got a nice card, though, for a backup. Lots of good results on a line book. Look for Harris, Phillips, or McCutcheon to go right up the middle behind that 6-rated center. It's a line buck to Harris. There it is, short gain. Picks up 10. If he had stuck somebody in the zone, it would have been no gain. It's easy for me to second guess, though, because he could have easily thrown a look-in pass, too. 1st and 10, down to the Colts 17-yard line. Let's take a quick look at the stats so far. I haven't seen too many passes by Harris. The Rams have 5 first downs. They've only thrown the ball 5 times, only completed 1. Line buck to John Cappelletti. It's a run call. Zone's filled. And it picks up 3 instead of the 5 that it would have happened if there were 0 men in zone. 2nd and 7. Couple of weak pass blockers there on the line for the Rams. And there are Fred Cook, Mike Barnes is all right. But Joe Ehrman and Fred Cook and John Dutton are very good pass rushers. Line buck to Cappelletti, 2nd and 7. Linebacker in zone. Again, that 0-rated linebacker is going to wind up costing the Colts. That picks up 6. It'll be 3rd down and 1. You're inside the 10, so you can only throw short passes here. 2nd and 7. 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 2nd and 7 I guess technically you can throw a bomb, although it'll be 2 men in zone on the D card, so you really don't want to. 4-3 showing blitz. 3rd and 1. Look for another quarterback sneak or one of those running backs going right up the middle. And you want to go linebacker here because the off tackle actually has some negative yardage. That was a linebacker to Capoletti. Even though it wasn't negative yardage, it did stop the play cold. But look at that. Look at all the other results. Only 2 and 7 stop the play. Everything else picks up at least a yard. And Zeb will be thinking about that. This is the Super Bowl. Tom Dempsey looks like he's coming out initially, and I bet you he's going to get called back. Zeb Strong's going to send out the offense. Sure enough, there it is. It's going to be tough to stop. You got to key correctly on the O card, or hope you land on 2 or 7 on the D card. That's 7 is your best shot there, obviously, but still not easy. It's only 7 out of 36 chances. Linebacker to McCutcheon. Incorrect key. Touchdown. If he had keyed McCutcheon, that would have been stopped. Otherwise, guessed right, guessed wrong. It's going to be a touchdown, or at least close to 8 yards. I think it was on the 9. So the Rams take the early lead. Tom Dempsey kicks it up and in. Colts will get the ball at the 20 after a 19-yard return by Bruce Laird. Lydell Mitchell. Is it Ron Leaks? Roosevelt Leaks. Ron, what am I thinking? Roosevelt Leaks. 6-rated blocker. Short pass to Raymond Chester, guarded by a 6, 3 men in zone, plus 13, first down. Burt Jones is going to have to carry this team against this tough Ram defense. Three for Jones so far today. Linebacker to Lydell Mitchell. Picks up 3. 2nd and 7. The 1976 Baltimore Colts against the 1976 Los Angeles Rams. Neither of these teams made the Super Bowl in real life. Linebacker to Roosevelt Leaks, and he picks up 6, guessed wrong. 3rd and 1. The Rams don't have a 0 middle linebacker, and they don't have a 0 cornerback. It's a run called to Lydell Mitchell, picks up 4, guessed right. I got a lot of 5s, a lot of 6s. They do have a 4 cornerback, so that's one area that Zeb will be doubling. The actual Super Bowl contestants, I think it was the let's check Pro Football Reference. I think we have that here. So that was the Rams did finish. The Colts did finish 11-3 and win the division. The Rams were 10-3-1, but each of them lost in the playoffs. It was the Raiders against the Vikings in the Super Bowl. Raiders won 32-14. The Rams got knocked out by the Dallas Cowboys 14-12, and the Colts got knocked out by the Pittsburgh Steelers 40-14. Long pass to Roger Carr, single covered by a 6, incomplete. Now, Burt Jones is a fine quarterback for this era, but as you can see, his deep pass guessed wrong, or guessed right, is not very good. Guessed wrong, on the other hand, it kind of explodes. So Steve's got to get Zeb to call a run a little bit more. Nice flat pass guard, good strong short pass guard. Good stuff here. Looking past Don McCulley. Nobody's there. Short gain. Picks up 18 as the fullback rumbles down the field in an open spot. 1st and 10 at the 24. Crucial down here. The Colts would love to tie it up. We just started the second quarter. Short pass to Glenn Dowdy. Covered by a 4. Receiver reading incomplete. Tough roll there. One of the things throw a lot of interceptions. You see he's 2-3, guessed wrong. 2-3 and 12, guessed right. That's like a modern day quarterback, a good modern day quarterback. And look at those high averages. 18-yard, 19-yard completions, 15, 16, pretty sweet. Short pass to Glenn Dowdy, 4-minute zone. Guessed wrong, 19-yard pickup down to the 5-yard line. And what's causing Zeb to call run? Look at this Lido Mitchell card. If I can get it pulled up here. No, it ain't that. Well, that's what I'm looking at leaks. Sorry. I thought Lido had a good card in this set, and I think he does. Yeah, he's got a lot of short gains there, guessed wrong. So he'll balance it out, and he's even good guessed right. Linebucker leaks. We just saw that card. Picks up 5, guessed right, touchdown. So he's a good guessed right runner. Doesn't have those flashy short gains in the middle, but he's got a couple there on 4 and 12. But that time he didn't need it. Guessed right, +5, exactly what he needed, touchdown. Extra points up and good. That's another thing we'll have to keep an eye on. You see a kick bad there on 12 on the extra points. Tom Dempsey, the old flatfoot, he has, I think, kicked bad on 9 and 10. So you might see a missed extra point come into play at some point. 13:55 to go in the half. Second quarter of the 1976 SSRFL Super Bowl. And as you can see, it stands for the Strat-O-Matic Stock Retro Football League, SSRFL. So this is not a draft league. Linebacker Lawrence McCutcheon, one man in zone, guessed wrong, picks up 8. You're going to have to call run a little bit more than you'd like against these Rams, because that's their forte. Let's take a quick look at James Harris's card. He's a better flat passer, I think, than Hayden. Completions there, 5, 6, 7, 3, and 12. And guess wrong, he's good everywhere except 11 and 2. I'll take a look at Hayden's in a bit. Off tackle right to Rod Phillips, the man in the zone, but it's 4, and he doesn't measure up. Daryl Luce or Luce. I don't know exactly. I don't remember him. In 1976, I was Super Bowl. I still had I was only 7 years old, so maybe not quite watching the NFL at that point. Just as the Seahawks came into the league, I remember reading an article about Jim Zorn, and that became my team. But when you're 7 years old, you don't get a lot of control over the TV. So I was reading the paper a lot, following along that way. Guessed right run there for +5. And I was living in Los Angeles, so I wasn't able to live or to watch the Seahawks live on TV very often. Not a big draw until later on in the late 70s, early 80s. They started to get some nice pub on Monday Night Football. 2nd and 5 here. The Rams on their own 45. So this is my year with my team, my favorite team, the Seahawks. I coach them, and believe it or not, I was able to upset these Rams in the regular season. God, Lord knows how I did it with that team. Got very lucky. Zeb's a quality coach, and that's a great team they have there. But that was the highlight of my season. The highlight for these guys is this Super Bowl. One of them is going to leave tonight victorious. 3rd and 3. Linebacker McCutcheon, one man in zone, guessed right. There's that center. Offensive center +7 or +3. That's Rich Saul. He's got a 6 run rating. Jim Bertelsen checks into the game. He wants to be mindful of the carries he has for McCutcheon. Into Colts territory on the 46. 7-7 game in the Super Bowl. Flat pass right to Bob Klein. Guessed wrong, picks up 10. So that's what Zeb's game plan is. Run, and then start flat passing when he's forced to bring the linebackers up and to call run. And take advantage of that with James Harrison's card. Let's see if we can get a quick look at Pat Hayden's card. He's also got a good flat pass card, but his interception is up there on 10 instead of on 11. Baltimore's recovered a fumble. That was a 1st and 10 run. And there's that man, Darrell Luce. John Capoletti ran the ball on a line buck. It was 0 linebackers in the zone, but it hit the fumble number. Baltimore's good at forcing fumbles, 2 through 8, even with 0 men in zone, 2 through 9 with 1 man in zone. So they'll take over. They'll stop that Rams threat. Off tackle left, Delito Mitchell, no men in zone, guessed wrong, picks up 5. So now it's the Colts' chance at turning this around. Remember, the Colts will get the ball first in the second half. Of course, we're far from halftime at this point. 10:25 to go in the game. Mitchell and Leaks in the backfield. Short pass to Dowdy. Single covered. Guessed right, though, and it's incomplete. 3rd and 5. Roger Carr, Raymond Chester, Glenn Dowdy, Lydell Mitchell, Don McCauley, and Burt Jones. The offensive line, David Taylor, Roger Pratt, Ken Mendenhall, Elmer Collette, George Coons, and look at that, all the 5s and 6s up front. So when you're facing 3rd and 5, you can even run the ball here and hope you get on the D card with a O-line rating because there is no containment on the D card. Offensive card, of course, containment's in play. Off tackle draw right. 0 men in zone. He's going to pick up 7, and he's going to break containment with a 3, white die 3. If you have a 6-rated linebacker, you will always contain. If you have a 4 or 5, you will contain on white dice rolls of 1 and 2. And if you are a 0-rated linebacker, you will only contain on white die roll of 1. That was a white die 3. Looking past Lydell Mitchell being double covered. Even double covered. Burt Jones slips it in there, plus 6. Nice call there by Zeb. 2nd and 4. Turnovers, big plays. Often tell the tale of these championship games and run right to Lydell Mitchell. Roger Carr being double covered is be a plus 5 and a 1st down. 1st and 10 down to the Rams 43. Mitchell, 7 runs so far for 35 yards. He's got another 23 runs unfatigued, so he's nowhere near worrying about limits. Line buck to Lydell Mitchell, guessed right, 0 men in zone, picks up 1. Second and 9. Long pass to Roger Carr, single covered, but here comes those fearsome foursome, and that's Fred Dreyer. On the hunt again against David Taylor. Got to be patient. He was hoping to catch Zeb in a run call. You saw how good Burt Jones' long pass card is guessed wrong, but you're not going to get to shoot against that very often. Big sack there. We saw the Rams have their drive thwarted by a fumble, and now it looks like the Colts are on the verge of being forced to punt thanks to that 12-yard sack by Fred Dreyer. Not many 21-yard plays in the books. Flat pass left to McCauley. Picks up 4, and they'll punt. Bring up 4th and 17. So he was hoping he would vacate the zone, and that would have been 23 yards. Or if it would have been a white dice. Oh, no, we do have white dice 6. We don't play with that rule, so he left him there, and that made it tougher. Punt, 28-yard punt rolls 5 yards, and the Rams will take over on their own 17. Lawrence McCutcheon has 19 unfatigued carries left. Capoletti 15. That's 34 unfatigued runs left, plus whatever you get out of Bertelson. That's a lot of runs. So I'll tackle draw right, picks up 5. It was a split roll. 2 through 8 would have picked up 15. Instead, it hit only for 5. Second and 5. Zeb goes with the draw call, sensing he's not going to get a lot of early run calls from the Colts. Harold Jackson is in the backfield with Ron Jesse, looking past to Bob Klein. Picks up another 5. Guessed wrong on that one. Rams out to their own 27. 6:01 to go in the half. Zeb would love to use up all the time on a long drive that culminated in a field goal or touchdown. And run right to McCutcheon, picks up 2. Second and 8. That was first and 10. So second and 8 at the 29. McCutcheon goes out. Bertelson comes in. And run right to Bertelson. Guessed right, loses 3. So now we're starting to see some more run calls from the Colts. Guessed wrong, that would have been plus 5. And would have set up a 3rd down and 3. Instead, it'll be 3rd and 11. Haven't seen too many of these 3rd and longs. See what James Harris does. Colts are not showing blitz, but they do have their 3 best pass rushers all on the line now. Cook, Ehrman, and Dutton. Stan White's a nice pass rusher, 55-11-3. Linebacker draw to Bertelson. There's that 0 contain linebacker there, and he picks up 4, which is not enough, so they'll punt. So we haven't seen those 3rd and long situations because Zeb's been running the ball, keeping it in manageable situations. That's what James Harris is at this point, apparently. 11-yard return by Howard Stevens. That means the Colts take over on their own 49. 4:23 to go in the half. Now, what Steve would like to do is use up all the time, get a touchdown, and then get the ball back. Second half, get another touchdown, and suddenly, before Zeb has a chance to touch the ball, it'll be 21-7. Short press to Dowdy, single covered by a 4, 15-yard pickup. Down to the 36. Burt Jones is heating up, 8 for 11 for 95 yards. Short pass to Carr, single cover. So 26 yards. Look at that. Look at that guest right card by Roger Carr. That is a power card, folks. Maxed out with yardage to spare. That's got to be one of the better cards I've seen. So first and goal. Colts are at the Rams 10 after that 26-yard gain. Flat pass right to McCauley. It's a 4 there, but it's on the D card. And look at that interception split on 4. And if you get 2-minute zone, you get an extra automatic interceptions chance on 12 as well as 4. Second and goal from the 12. We're going to see Lydell Mitchell run the ball finally. Been a lot of Burt Jones on this drive. Let's see what Lydell can do. Short pass to Dowdy. Run King Mitchell. Plus 10 down to the 2. Would be 3rd and goal at the 2. So it's a good thing I wasn't coaching because Zeb would have had me figured out. Keyed my butt, forced a fumble or something. But Steve crossed him up. And Jones, like I said, red hot so far. 11 of 14 for 129. 3rd and goal at the 2. Tough team to pound it in against. But you do have all those 5 blockers upgraded to 6 right now because of the formation. They're in full house against a straight 4-3, not showing blitz. Jones has been hot. Do you leave it to Jones to hit one of his receivers? Or do you try to pound it in with McCauley? It's a short pass to McCauley. It's leaving it up to Jones, and there it is, plus 10. Wise choice there by Steve. Here's the extra point. Tony Linhart? Yep, Tony Linhart. It's up, and it's good. So 14-7, Colts go in front. 2 minutes to go in the half. Kick down to the 0-yard line. He'll bring it out. That's Tom Jardine. Nope, he takes a knee. That's the number 2 returner. 2 minutes to go. Second quarter. 14-7, Colts on top. The Rams took an early 7-0 lead. The Colts answered that with a touchdown drive of their own. And then after a couple of turnovers, the Colts took the ball and run right to Bertelsen. Fumble. 0. It's a fumble. Baltimore's got the ball back, though. And they advance it a yard. So as good as the Colts are against the run, the Rams are right there with them, 2 through 8 and 12. Oh, excuse me. That was the Colts forcing a fumble against the Rams, and the Colts recovered. John Dutton picked it up after Jim Bertelsen fumbled it. So another turnover by the Rams, and this is a deadly territory turnover. Let's look at the box score. So the Rams have fumbled it. 5-yard pickup on first down. They're off tackle, 0-minute zone. Let's go back to the box score. The Rams have fumbled it twice. No, fumbled it 4 times. And 3 of those 4 have been recovered by the Colts. That's really the story so far, folks. 2nd and 5. One of those fumbles came on a 4th down, though, so they would have been stopped regardless. End run right to Burt Jones. It's a man there. Picks up 5, though, and that'll be 1st and 10 at the 11. So remember when I was saying about the ideal scenario for the Colts? Well, I didn't factor in turnovers. This is even better than the scenario I anticipated. If they can get a touchdown here, and then they get the ball back to start the second half. Everything's going the Colts' way so far, but this Strat is a fickle game, and this could turn around in a hurry. 52 seconds to go in the half. The dangerous Burt Jones under center. Short pass to Raymond Chester being double covered by the free safety. And it's a sack. That's just what the Rams needed. Again, one member of the fearsome force of Merlin Olsen takes down Elmer Collette, gets to Burt Jones, and it's an 11-yard sack. 2nd and 21. That really was the real problem for the Colts in this era, is they couldn't keep Burt Jones healthy. They would have been able to keep him on his feet instead of on his back. Could have had a much longer career and a more productive one. 2nd and 21, looking past Lido Mitchell. There's nobody there. It's guessed right, though, because there was 5 men rushing. Zeb had moved the middle linebacker over to cover for the 4-rated left linebacker, or left linebacker, Jim Youngblood, and they left a hole in the middle. He lets the clock run, does the Colts, down to the 15 seconds left. So here we go, 3rd and 14. We're going to see a short pass to Carr, hope for a receiver reading. Maybe go to Dowdy because he'll be double teaming Carr. Maybe throw a flat to Raymond Chester because there's double team. The chess game that is Strat-O-Matic football. 3rd and 14, 15 seconds to go. It's a looking pass at Roosevelt League. So he was going for the flat pass, picks up 10 and the empty zone. That'll be 4th and 4. And he'll bring out the field goal kicker he'll let it run down to 8 seconds left. Oh, he lets it run down to 1 second left. If there's a penalty on the offense, that will take away the field goal chance. Kick is up. The kick is good. There's a flag on the field. It's against the Rams, so he'll decline it. So lucky there wasn't a penalty on the offense, because it would have the half would have ran out. So here we go. 17-7 Colts. Rams did a decent job mitigating the damage of their 3 lost fumbles, and they're only trailing by 10. They need to stop here and to put together a scoring drive of their own. A turnover would be even better. The Colts, on the other hand, just want to control the clock, move the ball down the field, and put up points where they can. Feeling pretty good with the 10-point lead. Off tackle right to Lido Mitchell. Nobody there but guessed right. Picks up 4. There's a penalty. And it's an unsportsmanlike conduct on the Rams. Hacksaw Reynolds was a little too aggressive on the tackle, and that'll give the Colts a free first down out to their own 41. 10 runs so far for Mitchell for 45 yards. And 0 fumbles. That's really the more important story. Short pass to Carr being double covered. Zeb's got the double teaming pattern down right, and that makes that 4-man in zone, which is incomplete. Would have been plus 13 with 3-man in zone. 2nd and 10. Zeb needs 2 more good defensive plays. Line buck draw to Don McCauley. 3-yard gain. 3rd and 7. Pro set against the 3-3-5 defense. Short pass to Lido Mitchell. Receiver reading plus 13. That's a first down. Huge first down there as the Colts retain possession. First and 10. Colts down to their own into Rams territory at the Rams 43 after that 13-yard pickup. 15 and 19 for Jones so far today. And his only problem has been the few times he's been sacked. Rams need to tighten up on their defense. Tough to do against this explosive Colts offense. Mm-hmm. Get a little slowdown here in action. Make sure we're still connected. This looks fine. First and 10. Colts in a pro set. I don't think we're stuck, but maybe we are. I think we are. Let me get out and get back in again. It was first and 10 at the 43. Yeah, something's wrong. Maybe something wrong on my end. Check to make sure my internet's on. Looks fine.
Yeah. 90 seconds? 90 seconds? 2 minutes? What are you going to do? Yes, I could try 90 seconds.
Okay, I'm back. Let's see if we can join now. Pretty sure they were stuck. It wasn't me. Still, the server's not up yet. Got an instant message coming in. Yep, ready again. Just waiting for Zeb to join. While we have a moment, let's take a look at that Pro Football Reference site again. Still not letting me join. That game that the Colts were knocked out by the Steelers, Bert Jones threw 2 picks, and the Steelers offense just rolled all over the Colts defense. Yeah. Well, folks, we're still having technical problems. Okay, so we're going to have one of the coaches reboot. Something obviously happened with their connection. What happens typically, and he said he checked for it, but there's usually an extra copy of the Strat-O-Matic football game going, and that's diverting the traffic from 6501. Take a look at that real Rams playoff game against the Cowboys. Played in the Cowboys Stadium, even though the Rams had a better record. That's the way they did things back then. Pat Hayden was the quarterback, threw 3 picks. Roger Staubach also threw 3 picks. So it was one of those ugly games. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the Rams winning 14-12. I said the Rams got knocked out by the Cowboys. So the Rams won that game. They lost the next week to the Vikings, 24-13. And that game was rightfully played in Minnesota. And in that one, Pat Hayden still struggled, only threw 2 picks. But Fran Tarkenton had a better game. Chuck Foreman, over 100 yards on the ground. So that's the story on how the Rams and the Colts got knocked out. Oh, looks like we might be back in business. We've got quite a bit of dead space here. Hopefully people will know to fast forward. End run right to Lydell Mitchell. Here's that first attempt at 43, so we didn't lose anything. $13:05 to go in the third quarter. Short gain, picks up 13. What's wrong with it? Sorry, I was talking to my daughter there. 1st and 10 at the Rams 30. The Colts looking to put a stranglehold on this game. Looking past Lydell Mitchell. There's a man there, but this white dice 6 happened. Oh, we can start playing the white dice 6, should not. Incorrect information earlier that we weren't playing with the white dice 6. This is the 1976 SSRFL Super Bowl. Off tackle left to Lido Mitchell being correctly keyed, but there's a penalty offsetting. That wiped out at 1 yard loss. The Rams stuffed Mitchell on that play. Colts with a 17-7 lead in the third quarter. The Rams trying to make a comeback. But they'll need to start right here with a turnover or at least holding the Colts to a field goal. You don't want to go down 3 scores if you can help it. Short pass to Raymond Chester, single covered, and there's that pass rush again. Fred Dreyer against David Taylor. That's Dreyer's 3rd sack of the day, but it's actually crediting the sack to Isaiah Robertson, even though the challenge was against Fred Dreyer. So the 3rd sack that he was responsible for, it was a 90% chance of a sack, and the random was 88. Pretty cool. 2nd and 16. Rams switch it up and go to a 4-2-5. Bring the case over here. Off tackle draw right. It's a pass call. Offensive onside guard +5 or +0. And picks up 5. That'll bring up 3rd and 11. Those sacks can be devastating. Stop a drive in its tracks. Third and 11. Pro set offense still for the Colts. Rams showing blitz. Trying to take away Burt Jones's best weapon, the short pass here. Flat pass right to McCauley. Picks up 6. That'll bring up 4th and 5. Out comes Tony Lunhart. Kick is up. Kick is good. It'll be 20-7. Wait a minute. We got Colin Bryant here taking the kick return back for a touchdown. That 13-point lead has been reduced to a 6-point lead pending the extra point, or 7-point lead pending the extra point. Colin Bryant, 97 yards, big play. Boom shakalaka. Tom Dempsey comes out, kicks up and good.
Doesn't have to be warm.
20-14. Big play there. We had a fumble chance there on Mitchell's card, guessed wrong end run, but it's a small chance, only on 2 and 3 and 12. But we've seen Zeb King, so that would have been a good chance to really turn the momentum. Auntie, put mine back in. Just for another 5 minutes for mine. Second and 8. Guessed wrong run, picks up 4. Third and 4. Pro set against the 3-3-5. It's a white container hunter with blue writing. Third and 4. Short pass to Lido Mitchell, defender extra +15. And that's Isaiah Robertson. He's a 6 against the white die 6. So that stops the first down from being attained, and the Colts will punt.
Nobody can find the sour
Okay,
cream.
hold on. Coach is going to take over play-by-play while I go look for sour cream. Here, come on. Just describe what's happening. Come on, Coach. What's happening? First and 10. What's going on?
Nothing's happening yet.
Okay, who's got the ball?
They ran for it. The blue team ran for it.
How many yards did they get?
I don't know. They got very little though.
Just say on the card. +6, +5, +4, +1.
+3.
That's 3. 3-yard gain on first down.
Yeah.
Next thing. What else do you like? You want salsa?
Defensive LT +1 or +6.
Did you get the +1 or +6?
He got the +6.
Whoa, nice. So what down is it? 3rd and 1? 3rd and 2?
3rd and 1.
3rd and 1. Okay, so here are your choices. I can make you a dip with like mustard and ketchup mixed together. You can do that.
Mhm.
I can make you, give you salsa. That. What do you want?
F +3, 2 minus 8 +3, comma 9-12.
Did you get a first down?
Yeah. He got a first down.
What's the score?
The score is 20-14.
All right, here we go.
+12 blocking back +5 or +1.
Nice.
They got the +1. Oh, they got minus 10 yards because of the penalty.
Oh, wow. Big play there. Big thank you to my guest play-by-play announcer, Koji Crowley. And now I'm back in the seat on 2nd and 20 as the Colts are about 10 yards away from field goal range on 3rd and 18. Let's see what they do. Koji was right. There was a big holding penalty there. The Rams accept the penalty. And then the Colts ran for 2 yards. It'll be 3rd and 18. Can you go turn off the air? Or do you know how?
Air conditioner?
Yeah, just turn it off. Put it to off in the middle. Perfect. 3rd and 18. Pro set against the 4-3 short pass to Roosevelt Leaks going into the fullback out of the backfield, but there's that pass rush again. Jack Youngblood against George Kuntz. The Rams are going to get the ball back with a chance to take the lead. That's a big shift after being down 20-7. Ball goes into the end zone, and they'll take it over at the 20. Okay, 1st and 10 under center still. Pat Hayden's wondering when he's going to get a chance. Off tackle right to Lawrence McCutcheon, offensive on the tackle +8 or +3, but there was a penalty that'll be 1st and 15.
On the defense?
Yep, penalty. No penalty on the offense. It was a offsides on the offense. Plenty of runs left for McCutcheon and Capoletti. But fumbling's been their big problem today. Off tackle draw right against a run call, and that's going to lose a yard. 2nd and 16. Colts looking to get the momentum back with a stop here. Maybe get a good return or a short punt and get the ball near midfield. That would be ideal for the Colts. But a 2nd and 16. I would have only gained a yard even if it wouldn't have been keyed because of the draw call. Short pass to Ron Jesse. It's a touchdown. It's a long gain. The long gain chart comes up. Touchdown on the neutral field. He goes 86 yards. Just like that, a thunderbolt strikes. We saw the kick return touchdown by McCutcheon, followed by Ron Jesse taking it to the house. Oh, my stars and garters. The Rams have gone from being down and out in LA to celebrating and singing, "I love LA." 5:08 to go in the third quarter. This game's far from over. Tom Dempsey's perfect on the day, 3 for 3. And it's a 21-20 lead. Suddenly, the Colts are trailing. 30-yard return there by Howard Stevens, and they'll take over the 35. Can you ask for more excitement in a Super Bowl, folks? Besides the technical difficulties, this has been an exciting game. Even my 10-year-old's getting into it. Lydell Mitchell's in the backfield. Flat pass right to Mitchell. Correctly double teamed, incomplete, but there's a penalty. Offsides against the Rams. The Colts will take that up 5 yards. So it'll be 1st and 5 at the 40. The crowd here is getting treated to a really fun Super Bowl. Long pass to Glenn Doughty, but he's being double covered. And here comes that pass rush again. Oh my, oh my. Merlin Olsen, the Wizard of Westwood, sacks Burt Jones. And Burt is staggering around. He's asking what time it is. He's asking what day it is. He doesn't recognize his teammates. Oh my goodness, he's taking a beating today. 2nd and 19. After that 14-yard loss, looking past the McCulley. Linebacker in zone. And that's 5-rated Hacksaw Reynolds. He slaps it away. 3rd and 19 now. As the Colts are feeling shell-shocked. They look to be in total control of the game. And in a matter of minutes in real time, you had a kick return touchdown by Lydell Mitchell. By Lawrence McCutcheon. And then an 86-yard touchdown on 3rd down from James Harris to Ron Jesse. And Ron Jesse, I didn't even have to look. I knew he's one of those big play receivers that he would have an asterisk next to his name. He took it to the house with no problem. 3rd and 19, 4:02 to go in third quarter. Flat pass left to Mitchell. There's a 6-rated linebacker there. That's only going to go 7 yards. And the Colts will be forced to punt. So the Rams weathered the storm in the first half when they lost 3 fumbles. Short 28-yard punt to Cullen Bryant. And he returns at 6 yards. So the Rams will take over in good field position. Look at that. A 97-yard kick return by Cullen Bryant. I think I said Lawrence McCutcheon. It was Cullen Bryant that had the kick return. And an 86-yard touchdown in a matter of 5 minutes and 13 seconds in game time. And in real time, it wasn't much more than that. That was some big, big plays. And that's what I said earlier. Turnovers, big plays in these playoff games. Flat pass right to Bob Klein. Guessed wrong, picks up 9, but there's a penalty offsides on the Rams. So it'll be 2nd and 15. or 1st and 15, excuse me. Looking past the Bob Klein. It's a sack. Finally, the Colts get in on the sack exchange. Harris has only thrown 8 passes, attempted a few more because of the 1 or 2 sacks, but he's only dropped back to pass less than a dozen times. But the Rams stuck with their plan of running the ball, getting the Colts to call a lot of run. 2nd and 19 here, as Fred Cook took advantage of John M. Williams. Off tackle right to McCutcheon, picks up 15. That'll bring up 3rd and a makeable 4. So a few more holes on the Colts defensive cards than there is on the Rams defensive cards. McCutcheon comes out, and Bertelsen checks in on 3rd and 4. And this is the horns of the dilemma we talked about earlier. You have a 0-rated linebacker, middle linebacker, and a 0-rated 4 safety. So not much protection up the middle. Looking past to Ron Jesse. Guessed wrong, picks up 8. And Harris, despite only completing half of his passes, is having, an impact. He's having an impact. Clutch 3rd down conversion there. Ball's now into Colts territory at the Baltimore 41. Line buck to McCutcheon, guessed wrong, picks up 5. The Colts need one more of those turnovers in their worst way. There are no 2-point conversions in this era. So if the Rams get a touchdown and convert the extra point, no sure thing with Tom Dempsey as the place kicker, that will make it that much tougher on the Colts. They'll have to score twice. Long pass to Harold Jackson. Guessed wrong as their short yardage defense. It's a long gain touchdown. Harold Jackson takes it in from 36 yards out. And just like we said, the Rams have gone from the outhouse to the penthouse. They're looking to take a 2-score lead. It's all up to you, Tom Terrific. The kick is up. The kick is good. See, there's a no good on 9 and 10, but he rolled an 8. 1:21 to go. Suddenly, we've seen a huge swing. 18-yard return out to the 33. The Colts have the pieces in place to be a good come-from-behind team. The problem is that they're getting sacked like there's no tomorrow. And let's face it, folks, in the Super Bowl, there is no tomorrow. How many times has Burt Jones gone down? 6 sacks against Burt Jones today for a loss of 52 yards. Only 1 sack on James Harris. I misspoke. I said 2 earlier, but it was only 1. Short pass to Raymond Chester against the run call. Defender X, he's guarded by a 6. 2nd and 10. .48 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Off tackle left to Lido Mitchell. Guessed right. Picks up 3. 3rd and 7. So Zeb's not just calling pass. That would have been a short gain if he had been in that, okay, I'm up by 2 scores. I can just call pass and let him run the clock. Let him run and burn clock. That would have been a mistake. 3rd and 7. 14 seconds to go in the quarter. He's not going 3 wide very often. That gives the Rams a little more defensive power because they're able to double team 2 receivers and have a 40% chance of double teaming correctly. Long pass to Glenn Dowdy. He's being doubled by an extra DB. So that is going to be incomplete. Defensive back in zone X or plus 27. That's the advantage of spread out. Go 3 wide. Make him true double team. 41-yard punt. Down to Jim Bertelsen. the number 2 returner. He returns at 7 yards. And the Rams are now in control of this game as we enter the fourth quarter. 14:44 to go in the game. The Rams are up 2 scores, and they have the ball. Certainly not over yet. Turnover can turn this around in a hurry, but the Rams have got to feel so much better after that 21-point third quarter, 18-point swing where they went from trailing by 13 to now leading by 8. So really it was a 21-point swing, just 21 unanswered points. Not 18, 21. Line buck to Lawrence McCutcheon. Picks up 3. On a fumble split, that could have been it if he would have guessed right. Fumble on 2 through 6, guessed right. That could have been something. But he's gotten burned a couple times guessing run. $14-12 to go. Looking past the Capoletti. Now he's calling run, but Zeb's passing it. Picks up 9. First down. Out to the 42. And the clock just keeps moving. That was only the 12th time that Harris has dropped back. He got 11 pass attempts, completed 7 of them, and the sack. Flat pass left to Capoletti. Guessed right. Even though there was nobody there, there was 5 men on the line of scrimmage. Picks up 6. Second and 4. Big play here. Off tackle right to Bertles and guessed wrong. Another fumble split, but highly unlikely that he would have been keying him there. Even a guess right wouldn't have resulted in a fumble. But it was only a 1-yard gain. Those 3rd and 3 for the Rams. Ball near midfield. McCutcheon and Capoletti in the backfield. Flat pass right to Capoletti. White die 6 goes +8. Without that white die 6, it would have been incomplete. And it would have been a punt, I'm sure. 12-20. The Colts need a stop. 12-20 to go in the game. 28-20 is the score. And run right to Bertles in run call and 0-minute zone. Fumble +4. It's a fumble, but the Rams recover it. There's a penalty on the play. Offsides against Baltimore. So even if the Colts had recovered it, they would have accepted the penalty, and it would not have been a fumble. 1st and 5 down at the 38. Pace has slowed down a bit. Off tackle right to Rod Phillips. Guessed right, but nobody's there. That'll make it 2nd and 5 as it's no gain. Rowdy Rod Phillips. You're going to see a lot of runs and a lot of flat passes. Against the pass call, 0-minute zone. Linebucks where you're going to see a lot of concentration from the Rams and the Colts. Look at that, 7 and 8 gives you a nice gain there if you're the Rams trying to run the ball, and you have to try to defend that if you're the Colts by putting a man up in the zone, increasing your fumble chances, but you open your look-in zone.
Are you guys done yet?
Almost. Linebucker to Rod Phillips loses 2. Guessed right. That'll make 2nd and 12. Second and 12, 10:28 to go. Flat pass left to Capoletti. There's nobody there. Picks up 11. That'll bring up 3rd and 1. Zeb's got Steve on the ropes here. Look for a linebucker. And all the while, the time's ticking away, making it tougher and tougher for Steve to come back. I'll tackle right to Lawrence McCutcheon, picks up another 5. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 19. Looking past the Bob Klein, nobody there. Intercepted. Oh my, just when we thought it was over, Baltimore's made a big play. They pick it off, run it back to their 30. That's just what they needed. Let's try to inject some life back into this broadcast and into this game. I'm sure Zeb didn't care. He was fine with it just inching away, 1st down by 1st down. But suddenly the Colts have new life. Got the ball at their own 29. As James Harris makes his first mistake of the game. Off tackle right to Lido Mitchell. Guessed wrong. Fumble +2. It's a fumble, and Baltimore's got the ball back, though. They try to advance it, and they lose a yard. 2nd and 9. That's what you get in this area. You get a lot of turnovers. 16 runs for Mitchell. He's picked up 72 yards. And run left to Mitchell. There's a linebacker there, and he stuffs it for a 3-yard loss. Isaiah Robertson's having an impact. Third and 12. Rams showing blitz. Short pass to McCauley, and another sack. This time it was Larry Brooks against Robert Pratt. And the Colts will punt. This time it's a good punt, 47 yards, to the number 2 back, which is Jim Bertelsen. And he returns it 9 yards. The Rams get the ball back, and they'll try to do exactly what they were doing before, grinding it out. 1st down by 1st down. 4 or 5 yards at a time, not a problem. Long pass to Ron Jesse. Oh my, he said, forget about this nickel and dime stuff. I'm going to throw it up top. He gets a guessed wrong pass call, receiver reading for Ron Jesse, who's maxed out deep, and just misses it. Oh my. 2nd and 10. Even guessed wrong. He's got a pretty high interception spot. Off tackle right to Lawrence McCutcheon. Defensive tackle 0 plus 5. That's the 4 rated Mike Barnes. Can't make the play. It'll be 3rd and 5. Only 6 minutes to go in the game. And remember, he's down by 2 scores. Look for McCutcheon up the middle or a flat pass. Looking pass here would be good because you can't really guard it with anything more than a 0 free safety because he's in a 4-2-5 spot. Can't get 2 men in there. It's a flat pass right to Ron Jesse. Picks up 7. That's James Harris at his finest. 11 for 17 so far for 200 yards. 6:23 to go. It looks like this is going to be the Rams game, folks. Rams are looking strong. Flat pass right to Harold Jackson. 16 yards, and that's into field goal range, or possible field goal range. But at this point, Zeb doesn't care if he gets any more points. He just wants to keep eating up that clock. He's 5 minutes and 51 seconds away from hoisting the SSRFL Super Bowl trophy. No, SSRFL, not SSRFL. Linebucker to Capoletti. Linebucker in zone +1 or +6. Picks up 6. There's 2nd and 4. The rolls are just not going the way of the Colts from the 3rd quarter on. After early on, it looked like the Colts might be in danger of running away with it. Look for another run here. Keep ramming it right up the gut, balancing that with flat passes. Looking past Harold Jackson, that picks up 9. It's another first down. We're under 5 minutes to go. 15 yards left to defend for the Colts. Linebacker to McCutcheon. Short gain, 19 yards, touchdown. And that, folks, is going to wrap it up. You might be able to get 2 touchdowns in the last 4 minutes of a game, but not 3. Barring something really bizarre. Tom Dempsey's perfect on the day. They'll take that penalty on the kickoff. Dempsey, it's an underrated story. If he had just missed one of those extra points, it would be only a 2-score game right now, and there would at least be some hope. And there were several times where the Colts were getting close to field goal range themselves when they got sacked and they were forced to punt and ended their drive. It's not like they haven't been able to move the ball. As long as they protect Burt Jones, they have been. Looking past Lido Mitchell. Picks up 5. 3:41 to go. Short pass to Carr. 23-yarder. Out of bounds. 3:25 to go. It's only a 2nd catch of the day, though. Long pass to Carr. Incomplete. 2nd and 10. Steve, sensing the desperation, knows he needs a miracle at this point. And run right to Mitchell. Picks up 3, gets out of bounds. 2:51 to go. 3rd and 7. Flat pass right to Mitchell. Nobody there. Picks up 5. That'll be 4th and 2. There's been a couple times like that where Steve's been throwing to an empty zone, but it's gone on the quarterback's card, which doesn't benefit you if there's at least 5 men rushing the line of scrimmage. Fourth and 2. Long pass to Chester. Must run for 13 yards. It's a first down, but there's a penalty. That's against the Rams. It takes the 1st and 10 to 13. One more play before the 2-minute warning. Short pass to Chester, covered by 6. Must run for 14. That's a touchdown. Bert Jones trying to do it all himself here. Tony Lenhart's kick is up. It is good. 35-27. You need an onside kick and to recover it. Here it is. And it's recovered by the Rams. So 3 runs, 3 timeouts, and a punt. And that's exactly what the Rams will do. Let's look at the league champions. I don't think Zeb's won before. He has. He won with the 1979 Rams, and he won the Coach of the Year a couple times with the 56 Rams and the 72 Rams. Zeb only coaches the Rams. We had a linebucker to James Harris, who's probably the lowest fumble chance on the team. Picks up a yard. 2nd and 9. We'll get another run up the middle. So Zeb takes home his 2nd SSRFL title. I took a knee there, take another knee, punts it away. And the task for the Colts will be to go 80 yards, and most likely 80 plus yards, possibly. Recover and get a touchdown, recover an onside kick, and get in the field goal range. Should be no problem, right? With no timeouts and about 1:22 to go. Here's the punt. All right, so a shanked punt only goes 20 yards. And the Colts take over there. 1:22 to go at their own 27. They need a quick touchdown. And Jones is not that great guessed right on his own card, and there'll be 2 men in the zone probably on the defensive card. Maybe a pass for a long gain, something like that. Short pass to Roger Carr. Picks up 10 on a dump off. And out of bounds. Up to the 37. Now, if it was me, as soon as I got into field goal range, I'd kick that field goal. Which means as soon as he gets inside the 32, field goal time. Short pass to Dowdy, single cover, 3-minute zone. Oh man, we just missed the plus 19. Would have been a short gain on Mitchell's card. $107 to go. Short pass to Dowdy again, same setup. But there's that sack again. D comes up, you're pretty much going to get a sack with this matchup. Merlin Olsen this time. They gave it to Isaiah Robinson, but it was Merlin Olsen on the sack check. 3rd and 15. Hurry up for the Colts. Short pass to Chester, single covered. Scramble for 10. 4th and 5, we'll have to hurry up. I'm just going to eat up so much more clock, though. Only 30 seconds left. It's about 30 yards away from a field goal chance. Along to Chester. And it's a sack, and that is going to do it, folks. The Rams take over. Fred Dreyer again. And they again credited to Isaiah Robertson. This guy's getting sacks left and right, accredited to him. So congratulations to Zeb. He's going to take a couple knees here. Just one knee, actually. Four sacks for Robertson. We know some of those were for the defensive lineman. He might be the defensive MVP in this one, without actually having done the work. So congratulations. The Los Angeles Rams are your 1976 Super Bowl champions. As they use a strong defense, 9 sacks total to totally change the game around. They dominated the Colts. And Steve says congratulations. Let's check Steve. Steve has won Coach of the Year. He's been the Super Bowl loser for the 3rd time now, as he lost to me and my Chicago Blitz in a USFL season. Lost to Roussel in a 1981 replay, and he won the Coach of the Year with the 1983 Giants. So congratulations to Zeb. Great game. It was fun to watch, and I'll go ahead and share the link out. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care.